Hey guys, Steven from Clutch Pythons. 3 things I wish I would have known before I started to get into breeding ball pythons. So let's get into it. All right, first thing I wish I would have known, or at least thought about some, is how I was going to breed my ball pythons. And so I started my own rat breeding, I guess you could say. It's not a business, but it's part of my business. I don't really sell rodents. But here we are in the rat shed. And yeah, here we go. It's little, I mean, I've got a light for the rodents, but as far as like shooting photography and videography, it's not the best. But here we are in my rat breeding shed. I've got, well, let's just do a little tour here. Here are my African soft-furred tubs. I've got 18, so I've got 18 colonies. You'd think I'd get a lot of African soft-furs because of that, but to be honest, they're not the most, I guess, reliable producers, but they are pretty good, pretty decent. It's on and off for me, it seems like, but nevertheless, they are kind of fun, except for mine they just want to bite me all the time. So I've got 18. I produce about, between 80 and 100 babies a month with these. And I've got a lot of grow ups, and like this is a grow up colony. In this colony, I've got 2 males and 3 females. I'll eventually take one of the males out. Sometimes a male, you just have one die along the way, and I'd rather have a backup male than not have a male at all. And these African soft-furs, they can be a lot of fun. I had an escapee today. You can see all these babies. I'll give them another week and they'll be ready to be weaned from their mama. But this one's got about 20 babies in it. Anyways, and then I've got 4, 8, 11 plus 1 big thing of mice. I've got 11 rat colonies, and these guys will produce, well, not all of them are mature, but I guess if all of them were mature, gosh, I mean, maybe another 100 rats every month I could get out of these guys. So yeah. So, and then over here, I've got some mice and their babies, cute little babies there. I had several different colors. Here's a big colony. They are ready to be weaned, probably. Love these guys. The white ones and the black ones are the best. I had some redheads and some silver ones, but they didn't, I don't know, something happened to those colonies. Their health just didn't seem to do very good for some reason. Anyways, I generally keep about 5 or 6 females to 1 male, and then some of these, let's see, I have some grow out bins for some African soft-furs. Here's one. Those are a bunch of females. Anyways, and then I've got some maternity tubs. You can see a mama rat there. And so yeah, I spend maybe around $200 every month on my rats. And let me turn this around here. So I probably spend around $200 a month on my rats. Whew, right. And I'm able to feed all my colonies, my hatchlings, you know, my breeders, everything that needs to be fed, I can feed for about $200 a month. So if I would have known I need to plan on about $200 a month for my own collection, then that would have been nice to know. But that is just one aspect of it. Let's go ahead and move in to the second aspect, which is creating a breeding and a business plan. So creating a breeding plan. What I mean by that is if you take how many rats you will support how much you want to spend per month in rats, all right? So, because that'll determine a lot of what you're able to do. So if you're able to buy rats, generally you can buy them frozen thawed rats for about $2 to $3 a piece, given different circumstances. And so figure out your monthly budget, and you figure that each snake needs to eat 4 times a month. From those calculations, you can figure out how many snakes you're able to support. And that's really valuable information to have. From there, you can decide, okay, what kind of breeding program do I want to have? Do I want to have a lot of cheap snakes? Do I want to have a few expensive snakes? And how you're going to dive in and get exposure into those markets. That's really important to know. So for me, I've got almost 30 adults. Between my grow-ups and my adults, I've got 30 adults. I've got like 10 grow-up hatchlings, and I've got some hatchlings that are available for customers, because you'll need to plan on feeding those hatchlings as well. So, I think when all is said and done, when I'm at my pinnacle, I think I want around 60 snakes in total. Maybe I'll do more than that. Maybe I'll do less than that. I don't know, what the market can support, but that's kind of my plan. So, you need to decide, okay, how many snakes you can support. You need to decide what your breeding plan is going to look like. Are you going to be doing really expensive double recessive projects? Are you going to be doing just maybe some clowns, maybe some pieds, maybe some desert ghost? Figure out the niche that you want to kind of breed into and make a name for yourself, and go from there. So I would say the second most important thing to do is to decide what your breeding plan looks like. And then that takes us into number 3. So the third thing that I would recommend people do is figure out how long it's going to take you to get to where you want to be as far as like your breeding plan. So for example, if, let's say you have $10,000, and let's say you need to spread that $10,000 over, a lot of snakes. How much per snake are you willing to spend? And the time, this is the most important thing. How long is it going to take you to grow up those babies and get where you want to get? So that is my third, I guess, bit of advice, is figure out how long it's going to take you, because this kind of business is not for the kind of spontaneous people. It's really not. It's the kind of business that you need to be patient with, that is a long-term thing. And that if you think that you're going to make money just like breeding a snake here or there, like, it's probably not going to work out the way that you want it to, because things happen. Not all of your snakes will produce. Not all of your males will want to breed. I mean, I've experienced that with one of my pied males my Russo pied. He's a beautiful snake, and I want to get him breeding with this other pied female, but he's just not interested. So you need to understand that it's probably going to take you a little bit longer than you would like, given your budget and how hard you're willing to work towards your goals. So those are the 3 things that I wish I would have considered a lot more. First, how I was going to feed my snakes, right? Second, having a concrete breeding plan. And the third, setting a time frame to complete that plan. Because a lot of times we give ourselves a goal and we don't really set a time frame that we want to complete it in, and then we're just sad and depressed because we're not getting anywhere towards our goals. So I think it's really helpful and useful. And I'd be interested to hear what's most important to you guys. Are those things are as important as some of the things that you might have wished you would have known before you got into breeding ball pythons? Anyways, one last tip is, how are you going to market yourself? If you plan on posting a photo here and there on Instagram, sorry to say, it's not going to work. I mean, I'm not very active on Instagram, but I see that from a lot of people. And really, my plan is, I use a little bit of YouTube, yes, but mostly I want to sell local. And that means I'm going to have to hustle at some shows. And if I do sell on Morph Market, I have to be really choosy about what I put for sale on Morph Market because it's very competitive. So anyways, those are some tips. Let me know what your tips are for other breeders, and love to hear from you. And until next time, this has been Stephen from Clutch Pythons. Thanks, guys.